Can you introduce yourself and your role at EQUI?
Yeah, my name's Doug Barrowman. I'm the lead founder of EQUI, the EQUI token, where you can find us on equi.capital. My whole background for the last 30 years has been in venture capital investing, all the way from the old days of old economy companies, strange concepts like manufacturing businesses, remember those folks, all the way through to modern day high-tech businesses, biotech, and obviously blockchain technology and crypto space in the last 2 to 3 years.
And how did you get involved in venture capital and investments?
A long time ago, back in the 80s, when I qualified as a chartered accountant, I went to work for a private equity house, venture capital company called Investors in Industry, 3i PLC. I was there for a number of years, and then after that, I became a corporate financier, raising money for companies and buyouts, management buy-ins, development capital. And then in the mid-90s, I set up Aston Ventures, which was my own private investment vehicle. And ever since then, I have been investing in initially old economy companies, but as the noughties developed and we got more into 2008 onwards, very much high-tech businesses, high-tech biotech, and the last 2 years been investing in the crypto space and the blockchain space.
How do you recognise a good investment?
A good investment, essentially that comes down to evaluating the management. Are they a good, solid management team with capability? The technology itself, is it scalable? Is it patentable? What are the barriers to entry? What's the funding requirement? I mean, ultimately, we have to look at, whether we can actually take it to where it needs to be. Essentially, it's about good people, good business ideas, well thought out business plans, and people with experience in the sector to make it happen.
And given the rise of tech companies, how has that changed the shape and look of venture capital?
Well, I think venture capital evolves and has evolved with the changing landscape. So from the late 90s, which I'm old enough to remember, with the dot-com boom, through to the advances in the latest round of technology startups in early phase. Clearly, the internet's been a great promoter of the tech world, but biotech's also, there's been some great developments there. And of course, let's not forget the 1,500 or so ICOs that have been done to date in the world of crypto and blockchain generally. So with blockchain in particular, the future of venture capital investing is particularly bright and moves the game along considerably.
And what got you interested in blockchain in the first place? What excited you about it?
Yeah, I wish I'd got into it earlier. I'll be the first to admit that, really. I wish I was one of the believers of Bitcoin in 2010. But I got into the space a couple of years ago. I met a capable individual who was a military and cryptographer. He knew about the technology, got me into it, showed me the applications for it in the commercial general world. And since that time, I've been involved in a number of things, including launching the sale of one of our 2 towers in Dubai for sale in Bitcoin, which was a first to sell such a large-scale development using Bitcoin. That was a success. Also, I was involved last year in establishing the foundation of Casino Coin, which was I won't say a defunct coin, but a coin that had fallen out of everyday use, and re-energizing it and launching it. On that occasion, we didn't use an ICO. We actually created a foundation in Malta, and Casino Coin is doing very well. We also have another token of utility, which we're working on at the moment, which will be an ICO later on in the year. So essentially, this space, of which equity is the most important thing I believe I've worked on to date, is a space that I buy into and have done for some time.
Where did the idea from EQUI come from?
Well, the idea, having been in the industry for 30 years, was to open up an area that's traditionally the preserve of institutions and ultra-high net worths, and to try and take it to the masses, to be more inclusive with a wider audience of people that want to invest in projects. And I saw a great opportunity to merge blockchain thinking along conventional lines of venture capital investing. Hence, the EQUI token is the passport essentially onto our EQUI investment platform. Of course, the two are separate. The token is completely separate from the platform, but that is the entry to the platform, and it gives people the opportunity to either trade the token, which is independent of our platform, or to actually hold the tokens on our investment platform and invest in the propositions which we showcase on the EQUI platform. The idea of giving the bulk of the returns back to people, 75% of the gains we realise in each project where someone is invested in, we will return back to the token holder. We also have a reward system for those who not only invest in projects but actually just hold their tokens unallocated on our platform, where every year as the token supply increases by 5%, we reward those who have worked with us on the platform and investing in businesses by reallocating back to them a bonus structure.
And what gap do you think that EQUI fills?
I think EQUI fills a much needed gap somewhere between crowdfunding and what I call big ticket venture capital. There's a real opportunity to be all inclusive, to take on board not only the masses of the crypto community, but to also engage with institutions as well, because at the end of the day, this is a similar model to venture capital, but the innovative way in which we're doing it through the EQUI token allows people to have an interest not only just investing in the platform, but to have an interest in the actual currency itself, the EQUI token. So we'd like to think, although the platform and the EQUI token are separate, that people would look to what we have by way of investments on the platform and gain comfort that that enhances, improves the value of the token as it trades on independent currencies.
What type of business would benefit from being on the EQUI platform?
Essentially, the businesses that we will back will be tech startups, early phase, and even businesses that are more developed. We're particularly excited about blockchain opportunity, where there is real utility in what we're backing. And I think from the point of view of the entrepreneurs that are in these earlier phase companies, they will benefit not only from the money that we provide through our investor base, but also from the experienced management team and advisory board that we have in order to give ongoing advice to the businesses we invest in. And I think money's half the equation. The other half of the equation is the support that we can provide post investment.
What makes EQUI a success in your eyes?
Clearly, we want the ICO to be successful. The pre-sale that we launched 4 days ago has shown that it already is popular out there in the community, which is great news. We want a wide ownership of token holders and people to back our investment opportunities with those tokens. That will clearly make it a success. But we want to showcase great investment opportunities on the platform, get wide ownership of the token holder base, and return large profits to the investors who have supported us and shown commitment.
With your experience in the tech and crypto world, where do you see blockchain going in the future in regards to everyday life?
Well, it's very interesting. The internet, of course, is a store of information, whereas blockchain technology is effectively the new internet. It's a store of value. So therefore, if you look at the applications of blockchain technology in everyday lives, crypto is the financial app of blockchain. The wider uses will be involved in business and commerce, on contracts, title deeds on properties, for security verification on transactions, for procurement. So governments will actually start to embrace blockchain technology rather than see it as an evil. It may even be in the future that mainstream currencies are replaced by digital currency. And ultimately, each and every one of us out there may have a blockchain passport that will see us through from cradle to grave, which in some ways could be quite a scary thought. So blockchain is here to stay. The early adopters are becoming more the mainstream now as the institutions and people that I would call the suits start to get involved and invest in the sector. And that's a good thing. And I would say mainstream is only at most 12 to 18 months away, and how it will affect our everyday life.
And do you have any advice or any last message for the current EQUI holders who are believing in your value?
Well, thank you for your support. It's something I believe passionately in, and we've committed lots of funding of our own money today to make it happen. We will be here to see it through its course. It's already from early pre-sales been a success, so that guarantees that the thing is here to stay. To make it a real success, we need more of you to support it, of which the support has been very encouraging thus far in the ICO process. And what we want to do is to reward your commitment by making great investments and returning large profits to you to justify that initial backing.
Thank you.